Hello everyone. Today we are going to begin with the new topic, that is relational databases. I hope you all are aware of what databases are. Basically, whenever you want to search any of your documents or any of your records, it should be saved somewhere so that you can retrieve it whenever you want it. Here I would like to give an example of Google search engine. Whatever you are writing, whatever the keywords you are writing in the search criteria, according to those keywords, Google is going to search it. Where? In its database. Okay, so in its database, when it will search the related keywords, according to that, it will give you the result of your search. So it is stored somewhere in the database. Now, where is that database? If you remember in your first class, I explained you about the back end and front end. Google is your front end, which you can see. Database, where all the records are stored, that is your back end, which you cannot see, but you know that your records are coming from some other software or from some other kind of things which is behind this front end. So DBMS or RDBMS, or here we are just going to start our MySQL portion, which is your database management system, which will help you to store your data. So today I am going to give you introduction about the relational databases, so that in next class we are able to start with the practical portion of MySQL. So as I explained you in the Google example, that it is a backend, it will be stored somewhere at the back of the front so that you can retrieve it whenever you want it. But as when you are learning any of the computer language, you are programmer. Being programmer, you should know front end, how to work on it, that is our Python, which we will learn later on, as well as your back end, which will help you to store your data, so that with the help of front end, whenever you want to retrieve your database from the back end, you are able to do it. So today we are going to study the very basic terms which are related to the databases. Relational databases means they have some sort of relationships. Here I would like to tell you, like in databases we have four kind of relationships, that is one-to-one. One-to-one means, simple example is, one teacher is teaching to one student. That you may have some sort of like home tutors, when one student is at home and one teacher is coming to teach that particular student. So that is one-to-one relationship. One-to-many, one teacher is teaching to so many students, right? The way your teachers are teaching you in a class, so many students are there and only one teacher is teaching. Just reverse the case in many-to-one. Many students are taught by one teacher. And when you have different subjects like your physics, chemistry, biology, accounts, economics, or whatsoever it is, many teachers taught to many students many subjects. That is many to many. One to one, one teacher, one student. One to many, one teacher, many students. Many to one, many students, one teacher. And many to many means many teachers are teaching to many students, maybe many or different kind of subject. Now let's begin with what is the purpose of DBMS. So whatever the database we are storing, see whatever the things we are doing nowadays, that is totally dependent upon the database management system, because everything is stored somewhere in some or another software, and we need our database, we need our information so that we can deliver correct information to each and everyone. So that is the purpose of DBMS, means we are managing our database so that we are able to retrieve those information whenever it is required. So now in this we are having relational database model. The relational database model means it could not possible that we could have only one table, and in that one table all the fields should be interrelated to each other. Oh, all right. But we may need more than one table in which those fields are interdependent upon each other. Let me show you. Here I have taken 3 tables, though it is not represented in the form of rows and column, but you can consider these 3 tables. First one is suppliers, second is items, third one is shipment. Here you can see the underlined words. Supplier number, name is not underlined, item number is underlined, price is not underlined, supplier number again underlined, item number is underlined. What this underline means, or what these words mean, this is your table names and this is the field name which you have. You can see here I have drawn one table. These are the field names, right? And these are the underlined mean these are the primary key. What it is? Primary key. What is primary key? Primary key means which is unique in its nature. Unique means you may have 2 Shubham in class, right? You may have two Pooja in your class, right? Their surname may be different and it is possible that both the students have same name as well as surname. In that case, what would be the primary key? How anyone could recognize which Pooja it is? That is with their roll numbers. So whatever the field names are underlined, that is your primary key which is unique. We may have some or another thing in each and everybody that is unique in nature. So similarly here I have 3 tables: supplier number, item number and then supplier number, item number. Means these 2 tables are related with these 3 tables. How come? Because supplier number and item number, these 2 fields have been called in this 3rd table. So these databases are interrelated. Simple example for this, in google.com, if you are writing class 10th or class 11th, anything you can simply writing. So it will show you class 11th, what you want its syllabus. You want like ICSE board or CBSE board or MP board or CG board or Punjab board. That class 11th means it could be anything. But when you are specifically writing class 11 CBSE, then CBSE what? You want syllabus of physics, you want syllabus of IP, you want syllabus of chemistry, or what you want. That each and everything when you will specifically specify over there, in that case only you will get the correct output, right? So all the database, all the tables which we have in a single database, like if I am taking a school database, you may have student table, teacher table, then you may have non-teaching staff. So all these things are interrelated to each other, interdependent upon each other. So these are the primary keys. About keys we are going to discuss more later, but you should understand that this is a relational database model where all things are interdependent upon each other. See, we have DBMS, but that could be RDBMS. What is the benefit of DBMS? Suppose once you have entered the records of any student, again if you are entering the same record, in that case it could be like your data could be repeated. So if you want to reduce the redundancy of your data, then in that case RDBMS is the best option. Inconsistency of data will also be reduced. Your data will be shareable. See, whenever you are creating a database, that means your main purpose is to share the data. So that only could be possible. Like here you can see I have 2 fields in 2 different tables, but I have shared this 2 information with this 3rd table, right? They both are primary key, so that they will remain primary key even in the 3rd table. So as it is your information which is available in the 1st and 2nd table, that will not be changed even if it goes to 3rd table. So that is the different benefits of relational database management system. And when we are talking about a relational database model, in that a table should have all these components. Here you can see the components of a table. Here you can see the byte. Byte means combination of 8 bits. About bits 0 and 1 I have explained in my last video. You can see that when you are having, suppose if you have 0, 0, 0, 0, this combination of 8 bits will make your 1 byte. You all know whatever the key, whatever the things you are going to press in your keyboard, that all things will be converted into the form of zeros and 1. So whatever the data you are going to insert in this table, that would require these bytes, whatever the things you are writing, whether it is number, whether it is text, right? Then data items, these all are, whether this 02, whether this Anand, whether this 8000, whether this Kapil 34,000, these all things are data item. Each and everything which you are going to insert in your table, that would be your data item. Then field, these are the fields. Serial number, first name, sales made, these all are fields, the headings which you are giving. Because if you see, these headings are not going to be changed. These headings will remain same. Data items will change in it. You can have n number of records in this, right? You can have it or not. You will have. But these fields will remain same. In first name, all the data items will be named, but these names could not be same, right? So this is your data item. This S number, first name and sales name. This is your fields and record all together. If I want to know about Vijay, whose serial number is 1, who has made sales of 25,000. So all together this information, if I'll say, give me information about Vijay. So who is Vijay? Vijay is a salesman whose serial number is 1 and who has made sales of 25,000. This is the complete information. If randomly I take any name, you cannot tell me that who it is and for what purpose or what information I need it. Similarly, if I'll ask 1, what is that 1? What is to be done with that 1? That is incomplete information. So if you want to have a complete record or a complete information regarding anyone, that would be considered as a record. Then table. All together, all these things will make one complete table. So these all are relational database model components. Whatever the tables you are going to create in RDBMS, these all components are very much necessary. So there are many databases software are available which is used as a backend. There is MS Access, MySQL, Oracle, SQL, but the database which we are going to study, the software which we are going to study, that is MySQL. This we are going to study. Okay. Now let's start with relational model again. This is the model which is given by EF code. EF code is the person who made certain rules. Even if he is not going to make, then also one has to follow. Like when you are making a list for your class, you are writing their roll number. You all know that whatever the numbers you are going to write, that will be considered as a roll number. All are roll number from 11. This could be your first roll number or this could be your first roll number. So up to 60, 70 or whatsoever the number is, these numbers are roll number, but it should not be same. Even if it belongs to same class, then also it will be changing, right? So here you can see I have a supplier number. Whatever the numbers I am going to write here, that will remain number only, but data should be changed. And this is the first rule which EF code is made. You have n number of columns. N number of columns will have the same type of data. How it is same? Here you will always enter supplier number, but they will be different. It could not be same. They will always be different. The way you are writing roll number. In roll number, all will be roll numbers only, but it will be different. It could not be same. In name, you are going to write names of the student, different names, but all should be name only. It could not be Maths, English, Hindi, because these are the subject name. The way I am having here supplier names, like city names. This Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, these all are cities, but they are different. right? So this is the first rule which is given by EF code. Second rule is the number which you are entering or the information which you are entering, that is indivisible. It is atomic. Atomic means which could not be divided. If you are going to divide this Delhi, if DE separated by LHI, what it could be? Nothing. So that is irrelevant information. So the information which you are entering in this, that should be complete. All the rows, all the columns, all the rows and all the columns should be distinct. There should not be any kind of redundancy, any kind of repetition should not be there when you are working on a database. Remember this. The columns which you are assigning, they should have some relationship. Like supplier number, it is understood that you are going to enter numbers here. Name of the suppliers. City, name of the cities, and units means how many units you are going to order of that specific item. So each and every column should define each and every data entry which you are making. So whenever we are writing something, see, this is very important, students. Every year in your this class as well as in your 12th board, every year question comes on this. Okay, so please listen carefully. These all terms of relational model is very important. You know the rules, that is very simple rules. It is not tough. You all are making such kind of list, even for your shopping you are making. When you are writing sequential number 1, 2, 3, 4, you cannot write there A, B, C, D. Right? And when you are writing tea, coffee or whatsoever, you are not going to write numbers over there. Units you can write, like you want to purchase 2 type of coffee or 2 boxes of tea. That could be entirely different thing. But here just listen these terms very carefully. First one is the domain. Don't get confused with the domain name like www. It is not that. In DBMS, domain means set of values or pool of values. This whole, these are the pool of values. These are the pool of values, or this whole could be a pool of values, means the information which is stored in your data, each and every individual data item is a pool of values for computer. Now next is tuple. Tuple means your rows. I hope you all know what are rows. These are your rows. So this is tuple. Attributes, the horizontal one, these are your attributes. The supplier number, supplier name, city, units, these are your columns, and this tuple, these are your rows. Now degree, you will get this type of question which will ask you that what is the degree of this table and what is the cardinality of the table. Degree means how many number of columns you have in this. How many number of columns you have? That is 4. What is the cardinality? Cardinality means number of rows you have. Now here you can see that you have 3 numbers of rows. That is your cardinality. So cardinality will be here 3. Are you sure? 1, 2, 3. These are the number of records. What we have to count? We have to count the number of rows. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it is going to include your field as well. So cardinality will be 4. Simply students, you need to count whenever you have been asked degree. You need to count columns 1, 2, 3, 4. And whenever you have been asked for cardinality, in that case you have to count the number of rows irrespective of the data, whatever it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now simply if here I will enter one more field, anything, it could be T number. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Is it going to remain same? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It will be 5. But cardinality is going to remain same as our number of rows are same. Okay, I hope this degree and cardinality concept is clear to you. Once again I am telling you, this is very important. This is going to come in your 12th class board. In any form they can ask question. They can simply give you what is the table. Just tell they'll ask you about degree and cardinality, or in any other form they could ask you degree and cardinality. So remember, degree means number of columns and cardinality means number of rows.